It's time to talk about The Trials of Ashmount by John Pallidino. Hello everyone, welcome back to A Fictional Escapist. My name is Kris, and today's video is a book review for Trials of Ashmount by John Pallidino. I'm gonna pop that one there. Before we jump into the review today, make sure you check in the description box down below for links to my Discord and social media, should you want to come along for the ride. The Trials of Ashmount was a fast-paced, grimdark fantasy spanning over 3 continents. It included so many of those elements of grimdark that we all know and love. We had a grim setting, morally grey characters, sinister political machinations, and also a magic system which promises to expand even further on other entries in this series. In The Trials of Ashmount, we are introduced to the world of Sedain through 5 POVs. Each of these POVs are a unique experiences. They're all very different people coming from very different walks of life and have different experiences. All of these characters felt authentic in their own way and really are the heart of this story. So basically for the plot, I'm not going to go too much into it because every different character had a different element that they were bringing to the table. So what I'll do is introduce the 5 characters and then go from there. In no particular order, we have Cerodel Wintlock. She is a fleeing refugee whose world has been torn apart by war. We're introduced to her as a relatively innocent and stubborn young woman who basically has to grow up real fast. She doesn't have a choice. She will have to step up and fight the good fight or die trying. Next up, we have Eldbrock Brendis. He is a fallen noble whose get-rich-quick scheme has turned out quite poorly for him, unfortunately. Filled with thoughts of revenge, he will fight in the esteemed Buzzard's Bowl, and he'll have to work hard to remain standing. Then we have Villic. He is a nomadic warrior who has been blessed with the voice of a god, granting him a number of powers. Unfortunately for him, it doesn't give him the power which will make human interactions more bearable. This was an interesting character, and I'm really looking forward to where Villic goes in the next couple of books, because I think he's going to be pretty detrimental to the story as a whole. Next up, we have Demry Slan. If you are a First Law fan and you loved Glokta, you are going to want to check out this book because Demry Slan gives me pretty big Glokta vibes. This is a dangerous criminal and he is on the run. His broken body and revenge-tracked mind could lead to his uprising or demise. Only time will tell. Finally, we have Kelvin Stool. He is an ambitious student undertaking the Trials of Ashmount themselves. He will have to use his arrogance and wit to his advantage if he's going to make it through these trials and learn everything that the school has to offer. Each of these characters played their part in a wonderfully interwoven grimdark fantasy. That's really all I can say without going too much into spoiler territory. So those are our characters, those are our main players. Let's jump into what I thought of the book. My praises for the Trial of Ashmount were plenty. I liked quite a lot about this book. First up, we have that this is a complex book which is extremely approachable, which is not an easy thing for an author to do. And the ways that people can enjoy Trials of Ashmount are multifaceted, in my opinion. You could go into this book and just read it cover to cover and expect to be pretty entertained and have a good time with it, without thinking too deeply on what else could be inside the pages that isn't really being said. Or you have the opportunity, particularly through the interludes which are throughout the entire book, to start piecing this puzzle together for yourself. The interludes invite the reader to start making connections of the bigger political picture and heighten the stakes if you are looking for them. These were by far my favourite experiences through the book because I did start to piece the bigger picture together for myself, and it does make me really excited for the future of what John Pallidino was going to bring to this series. Next up, we have the world building. We are following 5 characters from 5 very different walks of life. So the world already feels fairly expansive, but we have deserts, volcanoes, extremely harsh frozen lands, and some comfortable fantasy villages that we all are pretty used to in a fantasy novel. But by having these characters span over the 3 continents of Sedain, we get a big picture of the world, which I thought was really well done. And Pallidino did a really good job of showing us what these conditions were like, rather than telling us that, hey, this is a cold bit of the country. Another strength is the character work. I did sort of touch upon this when I went through the 5 characters, but with each of our key players, the reader can see that we're dealing with a wide range of beliefs, skill sets, and outlooks on life, but it doesn't stop there. Pallidino has created compelling characters within the interludes, again, if you're looking for them. And these characters in the interludes, in my prediction, will become more important as the series goes on. You start to piece together that these 5 characters that we are following aren't the be-all and end-all of the story. There's much more happening behind the scenes, and that really excites me as a reader. And lastly, I want to mention the magic system. We are introduced to a magic school, so if that is a trope that you like, you do get to see a bit of a magic school here. I personally love it, had a great time in the school on the Trials of Ashmount, and learning a bit more of the sinister secrets that are going on within those walls. We have this school that is teaching our enforcers, our collectors, our healers, etc. of the world, going out and creating this force of magic, which I assume is going to play a bigger part in the rest of the series. The magic does expand beyond the people and the school though, and extends out to the other cultures that we are introduced to within this world. I love this because we were treated to a different representation and beliefs of magic through the different people that we were seeing in the tale, which just means that we have a lot more to discover, and there are a lot more ways that magic can be used, which again just gives me good chills when reading a grim, dark fantasy. If Sedaine is destined to collapse, I for one cannot wait to watch it fall. That was Trials of Ashmount by John Pallidino. Have you picked this one up? Did you enjoy it? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like the content, give it one of those. If you want to see more of it, click subscribe at your will, and I'll catch you in the next video. Ciao.